Welcome. You have reached review time with Imperial, and today's review will be Snowfall Season 5, Episode 6, Elliot Part 2. Let's get into it. So subscribe to the channel, like the video right off the bat. So this was just a continuation of Elliot Part 1. In Elliot Part 1 was action-packed as I went over probably the best episode of the season. This is just basically the aftermath of the impact. So of course it picks up where Franklin is in the cage with Oso with the tiger. The old man comes up and tells the tiger, basically talk to the tiger, I'm going to feed, basically he's going to feed him something. He gets on top of the cage. Oso jumps up, kicks the old man. He kicks the cage. The old man falls down. The tiger bites the leg off. So the keys drop while the tiger's eating the leg. Oso lifts up the cage where Franklin go underneath there, grab the keys. They grab the keys. They get out. As soon as they leave out, just so happenly, the Mexican gang is still looking for them on a hunt. Finds them, pulls the guns out at them, take them back to looks like a barber shop, and proceeds to torture Franklin and Oso. Finally, they get in their mind that Franklin says, I'm going to show him. Well, Oso first tell him, won't you just tell him where the money is? He basically like, nah, because as soon as we tell him that, they're going to kill us. So he had the idea to tell the guys, listen, take me. The money is stashed at the place where we don't know the address. I only can take you there. So he said, well, we'll leave Oso back here. We're going to take you up there. So the main guy, the main kid that was chasing him early, and another one of the Mexican gang members, two stayed behind with Oso. So they went to the old place. By this time, of course, the tiger is loose. So they go back there, and Franklin's looking. They can see the old man. He bled out pretty much on top of the cage. And Franklin's looking because he know that tiger's back there. Then out of nowhere, the tiger comes and jumps on one of the Mexican guys, and then Franklin hit the other one in the head. He pretty much got loose. Got back to the car. Told the little kid give up the car, so then he was able to make a phone call to Uncle Lloyd and Leon, tell him where he's at so they could come get him. So he pretty much gave the keys to the kid, tied him up, and basically said, figure out a way to get out of the trunk. So he left him alive. They went back and got Oso. They could have killed the other two Mexican gang members, but Oso pretty much told them, let them live. Meanwhile, back at the club, Aunt Louie's club, they had the two girls holding them there. Basically, they don't know if they are good or bad. Peaches is still missing, so nobody's suspecting Peaches because like the fan theories and everybody was saying Peaches. This was during the time of HIV, so it's like Peaches was already sweating and coughing and stuff like that. So everything has been alluding that Peaches is basically sick right now. So nobody is speculating Peaches. So Sissy was there with Veronique, pretty much telling her, you got a baby now. You could have lost your baby, and you need to start thinking about you and the baby. I love my son, but basically, you got to be there to tell him when he's wrong. And so Franklin showed up pretty much and told Veronique, get home. He'll be there. He just got something to handle. She said pretty much that I can make it home by myself. So after she left, Sissy left, Franklin said, well, it's only if it's Peaches is the one, it's only one way to find out. So they went back to a stash house that had $5 million in it, and the $5 million was gone. So only Uncle Jerome, Franklin, and Peaches know about it or whatever. Of course, Peaches is missing. So when they got back to Aunt Louie's club, pretty much they got a message from the streets that Peaches ain't the only one they got to worry about. Some OG got out of jail named Kane, and he might have had something to do with it. And of course he did. And he is Kev's, which was their childhood friend who they grew up with, was his older brother. So you know he wants some get back. So it did show Franklin meeting up with Javi, and Javi pretty much had to sit down with Franklin that he's going to offer Franklin some men. And he's told Franklin, you know, he's been fighting one war after another, and pretty much he's a soldier. That's what he's made of. Meanwhile, he said, Franklin, you the worst kind of man because you could be whatever you want to be, and but you got a war fighting inside of your mind, basically fighting which person you gonna be, and everyone is trying to come out. So he said that's a bad state to be in. So that was just basically Javi's way of giving his like OG talk to Franklin. Meanwhile, when Franklin got home, Veronique wasn't there. She left a message. So he showed up to the ultrasound, you know, seeing that the baby was still alive. And she pretty much told him, I need space from you. I'm not going to be living with you. I see you at work, and that's it. We're going to keep it straight business until I know you done with this life, pretty much. Meanwhile, it showed Reed, Teddy. He's healing, and the woman name that escapes me, who pretty much is nurturing him, who did the surgery on him and everything, her freak behind. Nevertheless, she kisses him pretty much. She's been saying she's been waiting to do that, and before she couldn't do it because he was married with a kid. So he pretty much told her, what did you want? And she pretty much was like, he was like 250 grand. She was like, no, 500. And before I would have just wanted to leave the hospital, so I ain't gotta, you know, wait on people. But now I want something more. And he said, what? And of course, at that moment, she kissed him and said, I'm going to go get the food. So she really is into him. So the episode pretty much leaves off with Franklin meeting up with Kane, trying to talk civilized at a football practice of the kids. And he kind of confirmed I was the one that put the hit out on all y'all. Next time I won't miss. And his apologies that he didn't mean to get his mom and all of them involved, but he was just trying to get everybody out. And basically, he also kind of confirmed as well, Peaches was in on it. And at this time, it pretty much just stating that it's going to be a war. So this is once again speaking on, this is the 80s, mid-80s, and just the gang wars that's going on. And it also showed a scene where when they were looking for Uncle Jerome and Aunt Louie met up with one of their buyers, and they had some statics back and forth, and Uncle Jerome with the town on him. And he made the line. He told the dude, pick up your boy, and y'all need to teach him how to squabble. So that was a funny line that he said. You need to teach him how to squabble. Next time he gonna get that trigger action. But he said you need to teach him how to squabble, cause just Uncle Jerome just Peter wrote him. But I keep saying this, and once again it's showing Aunt Louie and Uncle Jerome, their bond. I've been seeing this theme all season of showing their bond. They always together, their love for one another. We have always seen Aunt Louie. We already seen her in a situation when she was with that woman. Uncle Jerome coming to her rescue when she was shot. She's at the hospital. We seen that. We never seen it shoes flipped on the opposite end or whatever. And you know, I spoke to this also early in another review that when Javi said, you know, I wish, I had what y'all had, that Bonnie and Clyde. And they said, well, they ended up dead. He was like basically just the love, but that's like a foreshadow to me. And so now I'm pretty much thinking like I'm still on that same theme, that by the end of this season, it's season 5, so you got to think who's left from season 1. Franklin, his sissy, Aunt Aunt Loy, Uncle Jerome. So a lot of times, and when seasons get this deep, main character, and of course Reed, and Oso as well. So a main character that can afford to leave but still be impactful leaves, and I don't think it'd be Aunt Loy. Uncle Jerome would be more impactful at this moment, because when she got hurt, everybody was saying basically Uncle Jerome was gonna be turned into a savage or whatever, but he's never really kind of been faced with anything too much. So it'd be interesting how they take. Either two things gonna happen. Either he'd be killed by the end of this season, or he'd be the one this time hurt and severely wounded where he almost died. Either or, within the next this episode 6, between the next couple episodes, one of them is going to happen. And if I'm wrong, by the end of the season, I'll come back on after the season finale recap and say, all right, well, I missed on that. But I'm still saying two things that's out there that I said in a few episodes. Uncle Jerome, something going to happen to him, and Peaches got the HIV. Other than that, it was a decent aftermath episode. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.